Our lab assignment this week is going to be a fun little animation of a bow and an arrow being shot out of the bow. It's going to be a whole lot of fun, and it gives us a great opportunity to practice the art of anticipation. If you think about a bow and arrow, we anticipate its movement by drawing back the string of the bow. I think we're going to also add in a couple other movement qualities that's going to further anticipate the movement of the arrow itself. I think my bow is going to go down, and then we'll have it go back as we pull the string, which is going to be pretty cool. Now that I have a good plan and a good target for what the movement's going to be in my imagination, let's put some numbers down and start figuring out the basic timing of this. We can't draw and animate anything until we have this blueprint already done. And as one might imagine, we're going to whip out the old stopwatch and just kind of start playing around and plotting some points, if you will, to get a good starting point for the timing of our animation. So what I'm going to do here is that I'm just going to hit the start as I kind of act out the movement. Don't worry, no one's going to see you acting. It's just animators are actors. So it's important that we kind of practice the movement with our bodies. That way we can get comfortable with it and look to replicate that movement in our drawings themselves. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and start the animation. So we're going to go down, back. All right, so that's about 4 seconds, maybe even a little bit less than that, 3 seconds, okay? I like that. That's a good starting point. So 3 seconds. Let's start writing some of this down. Okay, now in the past, we've been working with exposure sheets, and we've been kind of doing the math, if you will, and writing it down over here. I think that's a really good practice to continue. So let's go into our animation layer. I'm going to grab my grease pencil object. I'm going to jump into my object data properties real fast and just make sure I'm on frame 1. There we go. All right, I'm going to add in a new layer. Let's just call this one exposure, because this is going to be your exposure sheet. And on this animation layer, let's just jump into draw mode, and with a simple brush, let's just do some really very quick scribbling here. So I know that the total is going to be about 3.5 seconds. Well, how many frames is 3.5 seconds? Well, it's 24 times 2, 48 times 3, 72. There we go. So there's 3 seconds. 72 frames. We add another 12 in there. That's 84 frames. So I know that I'm looking to do 84 frames total. Apologies. Let me just create a new material here real fast. There we go. So I know we got 84 frames. That's what we're looking for. Total, 3.5 seconds. Let's start breaking down those 84 frames to generally kind of get the feeling that we're after. Again, we're going to go back to our stopwatch to figure out the total movement of what it is that we're looking for. How long is that down, back going to take? Let's figure it out. Down, back. Yeah, about 2 seconds. Okay, so 48 frames. Okay, so the first part of this, okay, the first part of this is going to be 48 frames. And this is when the bow goes down and back. This is the big anticipatory movement. And I'm just going to put 48 frames. And I'm going to put ant in here because that way I'm logging to myself. This is the anticipatory movement. Down, back. Okay? So 48 frames. Now, the second part of this is going to be the string being pulled back and firing. Okay? So how long are we going to have the arrow fly in the air? Pull back, pause. So maybe let's do 24 frames, about a second. And then the third part of this is going to be when the arrow is actually flying. And we only have about, I don't know, about 12 frames left in all of this to get to 84. So this is 2. This is 3 seconds. We have about 3.5 seconds. So maybe we'll make this about 12 frames. And remember, this is just a ballpark. This is just a guess. The artistic process in our interface and our workflow is very flexible, so we can very easily go in and change this at any time. All right, let's jump back over into our animation layers and turn off our exposures just for a second here, because I want to start taking that information and putting it on the timeline. I like having visualizations on the timeline to help me plan all this out. And there's a neat way that we can do this with a new system called markers. Let me show you what it looks like. Now, I want to reserve keyframes for drawings. I just don't want to have drawings showing up everywhere inside of my timeline, but I want to be able to use something else, and markers are a great tool for us to do that. Before we go any further, let's just change the end duration of our animation to 84 frames. Okay, it's 3.5 seconds. All right. That way we have a really easy environment for us to work in. I'm going to zoom in. There we go. And I'm thinking this is going to work out quite well. Okay, so I know that the first 2 seconds are going to be the anticipatory moment. So I'm going to change the location of my playhead to sit right there in frame 48. Instead of adding a keyframe to signify the conclusion of this, I'm going to use a marker. As I mentioned, keyframes should be for drawings. Markers are a great way for us to add some extra information on the timeline so that we can visually understand the purpose of that moment in the grand context of the animation that we're creating. Now, in order for us to do this, pardon the dust for a moment, I'm just going to zoom over. Notice that my playhead is on frame 48, so it needs to be on the frame where we want the marker to go. And inside of our timeline right here, check it out. We got this really cool pull-down menu. This is marker, and we're going to add a marker. It's going to show up at the bottom here. You can see that this is F48. That stands for frame 48. Let's give it a little bit more purpose. We don't want it to just be a number. Let's actually write some information in here so that we're really comfortable with what it is that we're doing. So there's a couple ways we can do this. The easy way is to go back into that marker section, excuse me, and just choose rename marker. What are we going to call this? We're going to call this anticipation. There we go. Wonderful. And you can see that now we have a cool marker in here at frame 48. You can grab it. You can move it around if you like. You can also go back into this menu. You can add more markers on here. I definitely suggest that you check this out. You can duplicate markers. I mean, this is a really great way and a really great system of working with markers. Now, in addition, I also remember that we're going to have about 24 frames to pull back, right? So let's go forward 24 frames to frame 72. Okay, so this in here is where we're going to be pulling back our character, or our string, excuse me, frame 72. So let's add a marker, the M key, and then F2 on your keyboard is going to allow you to change the name of it. Now I'm going to just do rename, and I'm going to say pull string back. There we go. And then, of course, after here, this is where the arrow is going to be fired. Now, these are the conclusion of all of these movements. So you may want to think about going in and renaming these markers. So pull string back, and I'll just put end. There we go. So we know that this is we're supposed to end the movement here. Same with anticipation. Let's just rename it so we're really clear. Selected. I got to click on it down here. It was still, my other marker was selected. Notice that when you have multiple markers, see how this one is filled in? I click on that one. This is the active marker. So if I wanted to rename this one, just got to make sure it's selected. Yep. There we go. And now I'm getting the rename prompt. And I'll say anticipation end. There we go. And I don't think I need another one in here to signify that the arrow is supposed to be shot. So this is a really, really great, easy system that allows us to very quickly infuse an extra level of detail on the timeline that will help us plan out all of our animations and get a really good understanding of how these parts and pieces are going to be working together. Start with the timing. We always begin with the timing. That way we have a blueprint for success for the animations that we're about to create.